Hello and a warm welcome to another edition of To The Point. On the show this week, Senior Congress Leader Dr. M. Veerappa Moily. Welcome, sir, on To The Point. My first question to you, sir, is that Rahul Gandhi is now President of the Congress Party. How do you see the future of this grand old party?
Rahul Gandhi is not new to the party. He has not suddenly emerged. He has been, in the political scene, very active scene, as an MP twice, and this is the third time. So yes, now particularly when he was put to the test of the Gujarat election, I think he has emerged as a leader to be counted, particularly when we face the Lok Sabha election in 2019. He is definitely he can lead the party to success 2000. This is the hope of the cadre of the Congress party.
But there is a feeling that, of course, with the kind of performance which Congress has given in Gujarat, there is a hope which has emerged that, yes, Rahul Gandhi probably can lead the party from the front. But on one side, when you have an overwhelming feeling as far as the cadres are concerned, there is a certain section of the Congress which also has certain doubts whether he would be able to carry out the leadership.
No, this is, I think, outdated thoughts. Because of the opposition parties, particularly the BJP's, the strong, aggressive campaign that, they will build the Congress Mukt Bharat, and of course, consequently, attack particularly the leader like Sonia Ji and also Rahul Gandhi. That was the creation, very strong propaganda which they have published and circulated through the social media and others. But now it is no more there. Maybe on the social media, Congress is in the front, not at the back, receiving end. Mm-hmm. And moreover, here is Rahul Gandhi, he was not greedy of power. Suddenly, like Sri Narendra Modi, who shot into power at the national level after being a chief minister from Gujarat, he did not. Rahul Gandhi has been in the national scene already by the time Sri Narendra Modi reached the national level politics. He inherited particularly the great qualities of endurance, the great qualities of statesmanship, great quality of detachment from the power from Jawaharlal Nehru. And subsequently, he has also got that articulation, strong articulation, and also the passion for the nation and boldness from Indira Gandhi, and also the vision which Rajiv Gandhi envisaged for this great nation. So he combined all these three characters together. He was also trained by Sonia Ji, who for an unprecedented period of 19 years, she continued in power. They guided the government twice, and as a chairman of the UPA, one side, she was responsible for bringing up a lot of social security measures, right to information, right to education, right to the job, like the Mahatma Gandhi guarantee job program, and many other, even the Lokpal bill and many of the transparency. So he has combined all the three qualities together within himself, and of course, he was very shy of coming nearer to the seat of power.
Right. Of course, if you look at the historical reality of in what circumstances Sonia Gandhi took over the reins of the party, of course, she initially looked like a reluctant leader, but then proved herself that, look, she's fit for the job which she has taken over. But would you see some kind of a parallel between the situations in which Sonia Gandhi took over and the situation in which Rahul Gandhi has taken over? Don't you think that the challenges for Rahul Gandhi are much tougher, much bigger?
No, much better now.
But how can you say that?
I will say that because, when Sonia Ji took over as the president of the Indian National Congress, the Congress faced the existential crisis. The Congress was splitting, and Sri Sitaram Kesari was the president, and the people just thought that party will disintegrate within itself. At that particular point of time, she took over, But the manner in which she consolidated the party, as a one party which can lead, and also she has a knack and skill of combining the like-minded parties as a good alliance against the BJP. That is the quality which she has done it, and perhaps now, even though we did not get much seats in 2014, but thereafter the manner in which he was building the party everywhere and which climaxed into Gujarat election, I think this situation is much, much better than but it's a united, he is taking over a united party.
But Dr. Moily, will you not agree to the fact that in terms of vote share and the number of seats which Congress had when Sonia took over the reins of the party, in terms of vote share, Congress had a bigger base, and that base is getting depleted year after years. So in context with that, don't you think for Rahul Gandhi the challenges are much bigger?
No, it's a challenge is of a different type, because under Narendra Modi government, he has used extensively the power to build his party. As against that, yes, it looks as if the challenges are bigger. But at the same time, the manner in which Rahul Gandhi has given the leadership now, even without being a president, to lead the election campaign in Gujarat, he has emerged as a really strong leader with a lot of promises.
But Dr. Moily, despite the best foot put forward by the Congress, be it caste formations, be it all kinds of innovative campaigns which Congress brought in during the Gujarat polls, BJP still looks invincible. What is that one thing which you would say where Congress is still lacking?
Yeah, before the Gujarat election, Amit Shah and also Narendra Modi created such a situation in the country, such a situation in Gujarat, that they are invincible. They were totally shaken in the Gujarat election. They came with the Vikas, the Sabka Vikas theme.
Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
Sabka Vikas, that has collapsed. People did not trust them. Then ultimately it has come out that rural area, we got the highest number of seats, highest percentage of votes. Only in the urban area there was little shaken, but ultimately he was about to collapse. But in the second half of the election, Narendra Modi used all sorts of the tactics, like the supari is given by the Congress leaders to kill him, and also just utilizing this occasion of one of our leaders' statement that the Pakistan is also abetting to defeat me in the election. These are all the very emotional issues which normally does it. But of course people will believe sometime, but of course in the process of time they just believe that it is all false. It is all in a false background. If a supari was given 1 year back, he's a prime minister of the country, he's not mere Narendra Modi, then he should have taken legal course to find out, investigate. That is a failure on his part. If he has planned using it during the election, after a lapse of 1 year, and using it is a absolutely emotional, blackmail. Narendra Modi being a person from Gujarat, and having ruled it as a chief minister, now becoming a prime minister, that must have caught the imagination of the people, and that is total abuse of his position as a prime minister.
But Dr. Moily, when you say that BJP talks about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and they don't do it, the kind of strategy which Congress adopted, if you accuse BJP on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, even Congress adopted the strategy of Paas and Kapas. There is Patidar Anamat Andolan Samiti.
I think you are mistaken.
No. The combination which Congress was talking about, your party has been accused of being a casteist party in this election, and your party actually resorted to methods and strategies which were very old. So how would you really counter this?
No. This is our, the committed cause. We always, it is the Congress party which has given the inclusive politics, inclusive economics, inclusive society. That is what he said. I think the standard with which Rahul Gandhi, entered the election and came out, he became unscathed from any of these small matters. And, he raised the election campaign in a very highest pitch of a highest standard. This kind of a standard has not been maintained by the other party. Of course, if they think that, this is coming to the, the lower level to canvas and, use all sorts of things, anything will be good for a political game. If they think, maybe good for one day, one election, but it will not hold, good for another. But what is important is that we have been always telling that, this NDA government led by Sri Narendra Modi has failed to reach out to the rural, to the farmers. This has become a laboratory for that, Gujarat, for the future elections to come. Farmers' distress, rural distress has become a very important, and it is demonstrated in the Gujarat election result that, the present Prime Minister and the government has failed to, to reach out to the farmer. That is important.
But Dr. Moily, your party also accused the government of unilateral reforms which were brought in, like the GST, the demonetization. But that impact was not seen because the traders actually went ahead and voted for the BJP. So your party was accused of being anti-reforms. So how would you really put before the people?
No, Congress can never be called as anti-reform. Right from the days of 1991, when liberalization, major liberalization policy.
No, I'm talking in context of the narrative which...
I'm coming back. It is GST is our own act. But these people sought to, commit mistakes by twisting it. We told them, to let us do it properly. We are together. Constitutional amendment, we saw Congress extended the support. We were never against it. But what are the other reforms? Even the Aadhaar, it was our baby. Even the reforms in the petroleum sector, it is our baby. What is that new thing the present government has done it? You pick up one subject where we can say that reform measure is attributed to the present government. No. They have only rebranded it. That's all. So how can we be against it? But the only question is that don't hurry up. With GST, the manner in which they brought it, and how many amendments they have brought in. Even just on the eve of the election, when the election was on, Guwahati, the GST Council met, they gave concession to 273 items just to buy the votes. This kind of a misuse, particularly during the election, has never been resorted to by the Congress at any point of time. So all this is not reform. Are we to say to support it because it is a reform? GST is a real reform. But we have introduced VAT, value added tax. Except today, everybody. There was a provision for a compensation under the VAT. But no state demanded any compensation because the law was so perfect, there was no need because that reform measure of VAT worked very well. Whereas GST should have been like that. We have framed the law like that. But they created such a confusion. Every day we don't know tomorrow what will be the rate. And instead of saying one tax, one nation, it has been one nation, multiple taxes.
But so GST was
that is not meant to be a reform.
GST was something which was consensus driven. All the states were taken into consideration. I'm sure this rhetoric on GST will continue. But my objective behind interviewing today is to find out what the future of Congress party looks like now under Rahul Gandhi.
Congress is all set to mark. We have elections in Karnataka. Congress is going to win. If the same farmers district, rural area, that is the issue which is enacted and enacted against this government, present government, work against them even in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh.
But sir, would you not admit to the fact that would you have been able to capitalize on the rural discontent and the distress had you not allied with people like Hardik Patel and Alpesh Thakur? You had to take their help. You had to forge alliances to win elections in Gujarat. Would you not concede to that?
No, our basic tenets of Congress party is inclusive politics. Particularly, we must have, even at that particular time in Indira ji said, Garibi Hatao, all these backward classes, minorities, everybody rallied. This is how the Congress has progressed. And that is what they wanted to disturb. And we have been doing it. And that is the only repetition of that philosophy which we have been canvassing right from the days of Jawaharlal Nehru, more particularly during Indira ji's time. So it's not a new thing, but that suddenly we deviated from our main course. No, we have never done it. But that is why today, Rahul ji, under his leadership, Congress is now internally is a man for reforms. Internal reforms of the party is for it. The manner in which he organized the elections for the Youth Congress, the manner in which he has now set into reforming the purse inside, and also taking the issues, particularly is more for the marginalized class, the farmers. It is Rahul Gandhi which has, for I think last decade, he has been taking up the issues of that, and that has really clicked in Gujarat. That is going to click in other states, particularly Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and also Rajasthan will be the next step where Congress is going to make a big mark by winning them. And with that, our highway to the Lok Sabha election in 2019 will be very clear.
Congress party looks very enthused with the recent political recovery you've had in states like Gujarat. But is that the thing which is enough to bring winnability on your platter? Because you have to present a credible alternative before the Modi government, which they are offering. In terms of social agenda, in terms of economic agenda, Congress party doesn't seem to be very clear on what they want to do. So unless you bring a very clear alternative to the Modi government, how would you really make the people convince, or how will you really convince the people?
You are right. That is what we have done it in Gujarat election. That is what Rahul Gandhi has done it in Gujarat election. He has given that kind of an alternative. And we will continue that agenda. We need to do a lot. Yes, it is march is, that too against authoritative rule of the present government. We need to do a lot in a democratic way. Democratic way may not be, immediate. It's not a romantic way. In fact, the casteist way or the communal way is a very romantic idea. Because people think that, there is some emotional, but the manner in which the present Prime Minister is acting, right, particularly 2014, all that those promises which he has given, it has been belied. He has not kept up one promise. I'm telling you, not one promise, which he cannot point out. But at the same time, Congress has always fulfilled all the promises. Whether it is, even in a state like Karnataka, 90% of the promises we have already fulfilled. That is how we take our agenda very seriously. But the present government, they believe on more rhetoric. They think for some time we can fool the people, but always you cannot fool the people.
But Dr. Moily, temperamentally, if you see, both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are two different people. Sonia Gandhi had taken measured steps. She used to be silent, but believed in consensus. But people time and again have said that Rahul Gandhi is very impulsive. He doesn't listen to the senior leaders in the party. So is it not going to be a tough challenge?
Our complaint against Rahul Gandhi is he has taken more time in hearing, listening, than acting. That is what many of us suggested to him. Enough of learning process, enough of listening, act. This is what we want. That is what he is doing now.
But when your senior party leaders like Mr. Manishankar Iyer, when at the time of coronation he said that it's like an Aurangzeb style of coronation.
I am very sorry because our party has been always a democratic process, and the manner in which he was elected, and he did not hasten up. He waited for the process to complete. Then only democratic process is completed, electoral process within the party is completed, he took over. And which is not the case. Amit Shah, have you heard any process involved in that? Or any BJP at any point of time? They just, assume the power or grab the power, then they rule the party.
Dr. Moily,
and Congress has not done it.
Right.
I know, even though you could have become the Prime Minister, Sonia Gandhi could have become the Prime Minister thrice. He had the opportunity. They did not grab it. That is not the culture of Congress, or it is not the culture which is represented under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, or Rajiv Gandhi, or Sonia Gandhi, and presently Rahul Gandhi. That kind of a DNA is very much, democratic DNA is always available with Rahul Gandhi or Sonia ji.
Despite this democratic DNA which you are talking about, which is there inherited in the Congress party, why is it that the leaders of the Congress party, within the Congress party, cannot come out of the Nehru-Gandhi shadow? Will you not admit to the fact that unless Nehru-Gandhi dynasty is there, in the absence of this dynasty, leaders would just
you should know that without a past there cannot be a present. There cannot be a future without a present. This is always linkage in the history of the Indian history. You must know that. It is not invariably so. Why? Parveen Arslani could become Prime Minister. Lal Bahadur Shastri could become Prime Minister. Then again, the Dr. Manmohan Singh could become Prime Minister. When the alternative leadership was there, they were allowed to become Prime Ministers. But at the same time, there is a strong, link of the leadership and the party. It cannot be deviated. That's how the Janata Dal experiment failed under JP or the Morarji Desai, or subsequently that was a disintegrated. But here is a personality, whether it is Sonia Gandhi or the Rahul Gandhi, there is always a, the sense, people, the national consensus or a political consensus in the Congress party that, the leadership is acknowledged and respected and revered.
But will you not admit to the fact that if you look at the challenges as far as the leaderships are concerned, whether it is states like Madhya Pradesh or it is states like Rajasthan, you will see there is a rift between the younger generation and the older generation. Yeah. Take the example of MP, you have Jyotiraditya Scindia versus Digvijay Singh. Then in Rajasthan, you have Sachin Pilot versus Ashok Gehlot. Is this not a kind of a challenge which really Rahul has to tackle with?
We take it as a healthy challenge. Okay. Doesn't matter. If there are more than 2 or 3 leaders in a particular state who are strong enough, that will add up to the strength of the party. It will not add up to the weakness of the party.
So who's going to advise Rahul Gandhi, the younger generation or the older generation?
No, but he has already gone on record, and we know very well. We have been closely associated with him. We have seen that he is a good listener. He respects the elders and also the young people. It has to be. He has to give a change. Because status quo will not help you. It's a change which helps the party to radically take forward the mission of the India and also the mission of the party. That is what the Rahul Gandhi is going to do it, and he is set on that agenda.
Dr. Moily, there was another accusation which has been levelled against Congress party, and that is that the ideology has eroded over the years. If you look at the recent Gujarat elections, we saw Rahul Gandhi visiting so many temples. A party was accused of adopting a soft Hindutva because of tapping into the Hindu vote bank. So, is there some kind of a drift with the ideology in the party?
I don't think, having seen this party last 50 years, I have seen even Indira Ji, whenever she visits a constituency or a given place, when there is a church, she will visit, there is a temple, she will visit, there is a mosque, she will visit. If Rahul Gandhi has adopted the same thing, why should we accuse him? It is not in pursuance of any particular narrower agenda. It is on a general, because the history of the country is with a legacy. Legacy of temples, legacy of churches, legacy of, sometimes, the church or the mosque coexist with the temple. That is the philosophy. That is inclusive philosophy. And, suppose you go, for example, I am a congressman. That doesn't mean, I am a heretic or, I am atheist. I take out the theory of inclusiveness. The entire world is my, that is the philosophy of Bharatiya. Hinduism, you cannot narrow it.
But earlier we never saw Rahul Gandhi visiting temples with such a frequency. And during the election period, if a leader of his stature is visiting temples after temples, in 31 days, if he visits 25
that is because
temples.
Gujarat is like that. There are a number of temples, very big temples like Somanath temple.
So you mean to say it was not done?
No, not deliberately.
Context?
No. It is not very done. He has a faith and I have a faith. He has a faith. Every congressman has a faith. That doesn't mean, they have faith only in their tongue. BJP leaders have faith in their only tongue, but they don't believe the Bharatiyatva, that is Indianness, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This kind of a broad-mindedness, liberal attitude, you can inherit only in this country. And it is inherited by the Congress party. And if Rahul Gandhi has inherited that, it is because of the Indian soil. And nothing wrong.
What is the kind of role which you see for Sonia Gandhi now?
Sonia Gandhi, she has provided that kind of a mother-type leadership in this country. Okay. People still recognize her, as a person who has renounced power when it came to her doors. Mm-hmm. This kind of a leadership you can never find in any other party except the Congress, except in Sonia Ji's leadership. So, she could have become the prime minister, ruled this country, but people accepted it, even though initially, some of the people raised about the nationhood and all. But ultimately, even those people like Sharad Pawar, many of them, they accepted her leadership in a coalition arrangement.
So now when you talk about the coalition era, how do you see the battle of 2019 shaping up from here on?
Now I think the right time, wherever Congress is strong, they should build properly, the Congress party in the respective states.
So you are going
wherever we feel that, we'll have to align with them, we'll have to align with them. I think that kind of a flexibility of inclusiveness should only intra-party but also inter-party. That has to be built like that. Because here is a communal party which requires a strongest opponent in terms of the secular forces, uniting together, or the forces of democratic forces uniting together. That kind of a strength will have to be, amassed in this country, and that kind of a momentum will have to be built so that the falsehood theory or the Goebbels theory, which is being perpetuated by this present government, can be totally exposed. It is already exposed, and it is already BJP and their philosophy is already the process of disintegration. It has to be faster.
But sir, despite all the online and offline reinvigorated avatar of Rahul Gandhi, which we saw during the recent elections, Narendra Modi is a persona which people say that Rahul cannot match up to his dynamism, Rahul cannot match up to his oratory. So is 2019 not going to be difficult for Rahul if you look at it from the personality point of view, Rahul versus Narendra Modi?
No, it will be Congress versus BJP.
Okay.
And
not Rahul versus Modi.
We don't work on the personalities like the BJP. And Rahul represent this kind of a democratic setup. This kind of a amalgamation of democratic forces. And very effectively, he can be the leader. That he is the leader.
But sir,
and we don't compare this. Maybe that they may believe on this kind of a fascism of projecting one individual or in making one leader as a hero. But we always, don't believe on fascism. We believe on democratic forces. Those democratic forces, not only within the party, even outside the party, with the common agenda, will face the election.
But sir, doesn't the same thing apply to Congress also? Because you don't have a second-rung leadership apart from Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. None of the states have nurtured a second-rung leadership.
No. We have a democratic way of functioning in our party, which you know very well. BJP hasn't got that democratic way of functioning. Okay. It is ultimately not even the ministers, other ministers. He counts. Decisions are centered around that. That has never happened in the history of the Congress party.
So pleasure talking to you, Dr. Moily.
You.
So that's it on this episode of To The Point. See you next time with another personality. Goodbye and thanks for watching.